The world is full of traps lurking around every corner, ready to undermine your masculine strength. Just look at every famous movie or net show, either advertised or idolized by people today, which diverts attention from real issues. The elite control the minds, and men are manipulated into accepting weakness. Let me tell you an ancient legend about a lion. Long ago, there lived a fierce lion whom everyone feared. One day, he fell in love with the farmer's daughter. But there was a problem. The farmer hated the lion. Upon learning of the lion's affection for his daughter, the farmer did everything possible to prevent this union. The next day, the farmer approached the lion and proposed a deal. "I no longer have sharp claws, lion. Now give me your paw as a sign of agreement to marry my daughter." The lion agreed, and to demonstrate his commitment, he cut off his sharp claws. However, when the lion returned to the farm the next day, he was attacked and killed. Without his claws and teeth, the lion couldn't defend himself. He willingly surrendered his strength, accepting the farmer's terms. This story holds a deep meaning. There are forces carefully crafting a matrix of control, stripping us of our desires and impulses. But ultimately, the decision was made by the lion himself. Strength is a virtue we must follow. In all aspects of life, whether professional, financial, or personal, every man desires to feel strong and powerful. We all crave this feeling, but many of us fail due to our own behavior, which hinders us from becoming the strong men we are meant to be. In today's world, men complain about everything, spending a lot of money on drugs and pornography, and even apologizing to others for not needing excuses and habits that make them a laughingstock. This is a point that few talk about, but as a person of high value, you should never look down on others. Perhaps you've heard the example of the crab bucket. When a crab tries to escape, the others pull it back. If you find yourself mocking others, remember, you're beneath them. Of course, this doesn't mean you shouldn't correct someone's mistakes, but don't laugh at them. As a man, you should teach and guide your brothers without offense or hidden motives. Remember, strong, confident people don't belittle others, instead they listen. Mike Tyson said, "Social media has made you comfortable disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it." Secondly, ignorance of responsibility leads to downfall. Ultimately, it comes down to not owning up to his responsibilities. It was his duty to live like a lion. His claws and sharp teeth were part of what made him a lion. But he forgot about this responsibility and decided to give it up. The same happens in your life. Take pride in your duties, thinking, "They make me a man." The day you decide to walk away from your responsibilities is the day you decide to completely give up on masculinity. I want you to remember this quote by heart. The price of greatness is responsibility. Listen again. The price of greatness is responsibility. Thirdly, avoiding failure is a challenge for many men today. Most men always choose comfort over growth. Remember, growth is painful and often disguised as failure. There's a well-known example of a person who goes digging for diamonds. He doesn't know how deep beneath the surface the diamonds are, but he keeps digging. At first, all he sees is more dirt every time he digs. But after several hours or even days of digging, he finds what he's looking for. So remember, brothers, failure is just a mindset. You can be sure you'll never succeed if you don't persevere. Think about something worthwhile. Imagine starting a business at the beginning. You might face so-called failures as you try to learn the business and win over your clients. But when you stay in the game long enough and don't get discouraged by these temporary setbacks, you'll see that success is within reach. When you approach it, you might seem like a strange person who doesn't know how to interact. But your success lies beyond these temporary failures. It's a small price a strong person must pay for success. Children are often taught to be ashamed of their mistakes and failures, trying to justify them by blaming others. Consider this quote and write it down somewhere. It's the weak person who blames their failure on the strength of others. Fourthly, submitting to useless laws is very easy. Want to know the difference between a coward and a person of high value? Well, a coward will always be on the side of the majority, even if what they say is clearly wrong. And the worst part is, the coward expects the person of value to also adhere to these useless and evil laws and rules. A person of high dignity always examines and judges everything before deciding to follow. In today's world, we've become so accustomed to the mentality that you shouldn't judge or that you shouldn't do this or that. You're just a puppet and a lab rat obeying all their plans and laws. There's nothing wrong with obedience, but obey only what aligns with your goal, your mission, and above all, aside from God, there's nothing higher than the law of the Almighty. Ask yourself if you're easily intimidated and try to please everyone. For some people, it can be incredibly difficult to learn to say no. But if you act in truth for the first time, you'll realize that the world won't collapse around you. I've seen so many men who live in fear in their marriages, as if their wives were some kind of tyrant, and they dare not speak up or correct them. This is a clear example of futile submissiveness. Your body language speaks volumes. The concept of body language is crucial, including nonverbal signals like a handshake, eye contact, how you sit, walk, and move when you speak and interact with others. Whether you're a strong or weak person, your body language speaks volumes, but agendas have also turned against strong male body language. Be intentional with your body and maintain a masculine posture. Remember, your body language is easily the first and simplest way to deter someone from taking advantage of you. We always discuss the importance of your younger days on this channel, your early 20s and even your early 30s. To some extent, these are what we call the golden days. These are the days when you should build, and build. Think about the farmer who plants seeds. He doesn't expect the seeds to bear fruit the next day. In your 20s, just like farmers grow seeds, you should sow spiritual, emotional, and physical seeds that will help you grow. But here's the most important part. Don't expect to reap those fruits immediately. Just keep planting, and before you know it, you'll have forests and gardens that attract the kind of life you want. By ground, I mean challenging yourself. This doesn't mean you have to work 24/7, but always remember that these are the days when you have more energy and the opportunity to take the biggest risks. Use it to your advantage, especially when you're young. You might feel like you're missing out on the culture by being with some people or investing in yourself. But resisting it, you might not realize it now. But as you age, you'll thank yourself for not being distracted. Listen to what the wisest person on earth can say about their youth. Words of wisdom. Be happy while you're young and lift your heart in the days of your youth. Follow the paths of your heart and what your eyes see. But know this, to everyone, God is number one. Be lazy and unproductive with your time, what time you go to sleep, and what time you wake up. How structured is your day? What do you do when you return from work? These are all questions you should take seriously. Don't think of them as a side task that you can think about when you have free time. As someone who wants to strive for success in all areas, you must carefully plan your day. Consider why the strong of this world are so successful in building a matrix. Every aspect and area meticulously planned. Similarly, think about each part of your day, including the type of content you consume. If you don't have the right thoughts, make sure you've given the matrix open access to penetrate you. Laziness is the greatest enemy of people today. As a person, you may have so many thoughts related to business or life, but you'll never act on them if you allow laziness in. It gradually seeps into you and you won't even notice. Always remember, brothers, that laziness only stands a chance against the weak because a person of high value quickly learns to detect and correct it. Always be aware of laziness and fight it as soon as possible. So, brothers, remember that weakness is a virtue of modern society, what you're constantly seeking. However, strength is our greatest virtue. Embrace it at every opportunity and remember that God is our greatest strength. Don't forget to show your support by hitting the subscribe button and giving it a like so the algorithm recognizes the quality of the video and recommends it to more people. See you next time.